Hi, this is Pete Lyons with another Let's Play Salesforce video, and today we're doing part 7 of Einstein Analytics Binding Basics. Last time we learned how to dynamically pass text using SQL and bindings. Pretty cool. Today we're going to learn about how to bind across multiple data sets. So this dashboard's a little cluttered for those purposes. We're going to start a new one. And go to here. Okay. Now, first we need to demonstrate what the problem is. So I'm going to get some data up on the screen here so we can see. I've got my DTC opportunity data set that I've been using up until now. And I'm going to group this guy by industry. Done. Get it on the screen. Then we're going to create another one, group it by type. Get that on the screen. Now we're going to do the same thing on our opportunity data set from SalesWave, not the DTC. Group that by industry. First thing to call out, hey, wasn't it just industry before? Now it's account.industry. That's interesting. And then we're going to create one for type as well. Notice also, this is account.type, whereas on our other one, it's account_type. And I'm going to throw some labels on here so it's easier to keep track of which is which. This is our DTC opportunities. And these are from SalesWave. So now we are adequately prepared to describe what the problem that we have is. These are very similar visualizations calling for the exact same fields with almost identical values across two different data sets. I mean, we do see that it's different data. You know, over here I've got just industry, and you know, in agriculture I've got 28 records, whereas over here it's account.industry, and in agriculture I have 33 records. Similarly, these are account.type and account_type. Now, when I click on agriculture, notice how it filters the the visualization below it. That's called faceting. It's a very fundamental concept. If you've made it this far, I would really hope you know what faceting is already. So the problem is here, though, it's not doing anything on the other side. I can click on agriculture all I want, and it's only going to filter my account type down here. It's not going to filter left or right because they're coming off of different data sets. So how do we solve this problem? Well, up until relatively recently, the solution was to use bindings and pass in bindings as filters, just as we've already demonstrated. And a couple of releases ago, we got something really, really awesome, the first phase of declarative point-and-click bindings. It's a really powerful feature. It's called connected data sources. First, I'm going to show you how to do it the old way. And there's still valid use cases for why you might want to do this. If you need like precision control and you want to know exactly which visualizations are and are not going to weave across data sets, if you want to keep that to only a couple of fields, then you are going to still want to do this manually. If you just want it real easy and just working and you don't have a complex use case, use connected data sources. It'll have you up and running in moments. So first, we're going to hit Edit. Now let's take a look at our steps here. One is called Industry_1, and that is powering our chart on the top left. The other is Account_industry, and this is powering the chart on the right. So what I would like to do is I would like to declare that a selection to the chart on the top left should result in an update in the chart on the top right. So top right is the destination, top left is the source. Let's go to the destination step. So account underscore industry underscore 1. This is coming off the Sales Wave Opportunity Dataset, and you can see that it is grouped by account dot industry. So we're going to add a filter to our query. As I've said before, whenever we're adding a parameter to the query section, I would recommend adding it at the top to avoid syntax errors. Filters is a two-dimensional array where each array within the outer array represents a single filter. We want to filter the field account.industry because this is how it looks on our destination step. And the filter that we want to apply to it is going to be our binding statement. It's a quoted string, begins and ends with double curly. Start by calling out that we want a column. Well, where do you want that column from? I want it from the step industry underscore 1, and I want the selection of that step. The second argument for the column function is going to be an array of the column or columns we want. We only want one column. These must be escaped quotes, and the column that we want, just give me a quote, there we go. The column that we want is industry. So, important thing to call out, on the left side here, we're calling out account industry as it exists on the destination step. Within our binding, we're calling to the source step, which is why we use the name of the field as it exists on our source data set. Now we add our data serialization function, dot as object. And this should be all we need. Let's go ahead and click done and see if it works. So now the expectation is that the chart on the top left should be able to dynamically filter the chart on the top right. And look at that, it works. Now, let's look at a limitation that we have here. This is a one-way connection, meaning that I cannot filter the chart on the top left with the chart on the top right. That's because I'm applying the selection of the top left as a filter to the top right, but there is nothing to enforce that connection in reverse. If I wanted to do that, I would basically write the exact same binding on the other step, but with just the field values reversed, the step names reversed, etc. So I can tie them to be bidirectional, but it requires a two-step process. You have to bind the left to the right and then the right to the left. So now, let's get rid of that binding and take a look at what we can do with connected data sources. So first, we're going to confirm that that binding is no longer functional. I have removed the binding. There's no connection here anymore. The two data sets are independent. So I'm going to go back into edit mode, go to the dot, dot, dot in the top right. I'm going to select connected data sources. I cannot say enough good things about this feature. Even if you've been using bindings for 2.5 years now, you're very comfortable with them, you've gone from bindings 1.0 to bindings 2.0, that doesn't mean you shouldn't use this feature. It's not for beginners only. It's extremely powerful and will save you a ton of time, especially when you've got very complex dashboards operating across multiple data sets. With common columns being a frequent occurrence, you're definitely going to want to leverage this feature. So I need to create a new connection. I'm going to name my connection. Name it industry. I need to choose my first source. I'm going to choose my DTC opportunity data set. I'm going to select the industry field. Do the same thing on my Sales Wave opportunity data set. Select account.industry. I can add more than just two. I don't actually know if there's a cap off the top of my head. I know I've done it with at least a few, at least a fistful of data sets and not had an issue. I don't know. How many data sets can you do it with? So we're going to go ahead and hit save. And if we wanted to do across multiple columns, we would have to add an additional entry for each one. But let's see what this accomplishes for us. Now, I don't want you to look at the top right. I want you to look at the bottom right. Notice how we have 519 customer rows right now? Well, when I select agriculture on the top left, it doesn't just filter my industry on the top right. Notice those customers on the bottom right went from over 500 down to 23 because the filter is applied to the entire data set, not just the single step that we added a filter to. The other important thing to call out is that it is bidirectional, which right there, that just saved us a bunch of time. So why would you not want to use this? Well, because maybe I only want it to filter certain steps. Maybe I only want it to care about a certain field. Maybe I need a more granular precision control. But if all you really want to do is, hey, I've got data on the left and I got data on the right. They're coming off of different data sets and I need them to work. And I need it to work quickly. Just boom, there you go. I mean, how hard was that? Hey, let's just to show how easy that was, let's tie it together by type. Because right now we'll see that this is not bound. So even though grouping by, or even though selecting an industry will update the type, selecting a type is not going to update the industry because we don't have that connection. So let's go ahead and add another one. Data source 1 is DTC sale or DTC opties. We want type. It's right there. Data source 2, opties, account type, save, close, view. Look at that. How easy is that? In less time than it took us to write one binding, we've now connected both data sets bidirectionally across 2 fields. So that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you learned something. And please like, subscribe, share, give suggestions. I'm open for anything. What do you want to see more videos about? Let me know. Thanks for watching.